Right. So it's been a while. Holidays were a thing. I spent a lot of time working on getting the money that I wanted to get everybody Christmas presents. And then I was really tired and just kind of exhausted. So I took a couple of weeks off. And then I got COVID and I'm still recovering from that. But I did manage to get a little bit of work done. So this is not going to be a big update video, but it is going to be an update video just to keep on trend. So firstly, as you can see when you zoom in now, it might be hard for you to tell. I could tell on my 32-inch monitor. It was very close to my face. I could tell, but I made it so that when you zoom in, it's softer, so that it's I added a Gaussian blur, so that it is not so pixelated. I don't know what a good balance is. I'm gonna try and find a balance. Another problem I have with that is that it also is blurring out the like anything that is shown picture, including text that is done through show picture. There, I believe, is a way that I could remedy that. So I'm gonna try that. Ultimately, I don't really know if I'm gonna keep that. I just thought it might be a little bit easier on the eyes, but now I'm looking at it since it's been a while, and that might not be the case, to be honest. The zoom isn't it's just there for to add that extra little layer if you want to get closer. It's not how the game is like designed. It's just like a little bit of an accessibility feature. I don't know. We're working on that. I'll figure that out eventually. What I'm gonna do with that. But let's head into Rabbit Kingdom real fast. Um, Most of what I have, as you can see, it also blurs like the you know. Most of what I have been working on has been, I believe I showed the updates to this already with like the poster and the little I am starting to get some pretty good ideas in terms of like how to add sexuality into this um section. So but I think it needs to be, it can't I one I have some ideas. One idea that I have, I was gonna say it, is that so you go through a few different sections before you return here. When you return here, it's on fire. The rabbits are decapitated. La la la. And rabbits, they act weird when they get scared. I think what I'm gonna have is I'm gonna have these rabbit people, become like there's a little tree I'll show you in a second. I think I'm gonna have them do like a little orgy at the tree when everything's all violent and stuff. Just add it fear, like it'll add an extra layer of what the fuck, and I think that'll be like good for that section. So that's kind of an idea that I have. I'm pretty sure I showed you this already, but yeah. So next thing is, because I'm behind, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get like this whole section drawn out, and then I'm gonna get all of the big mechanics done and the story progress done, and then like lighting and finishing up and gonna the textures of everything and all that kind of stuff. That tree over there, the one on the right, that is gonna be where they're gonna have like a orgy. It's a special tree. I haven't made the lore yet, but I will. So the caves are going to be where you're going to go next night. You're not going to be able to go there right away. You're going to have to go through, do a few things first to get there. But you are going to be going into the caves next. And then, so make sure this works. Probably should have checked that first. Okay. So this is the caves. The way that I have the cave set up, as you could tell, I made a bit of an oopsies. The texture of the fog isn't there. I had to fix that. I knew it when I was doing that. Oh, shoot. Either way, the texture of the fog isn't there. It's fine. So how this is set up, this isn't like completely done, by the way. But how this is set up is that, first of all, you look really small here, so I'm gonna have to add some stuff, a lot of stuff in this area, I think. which is good that it's so like big and everything. Um, but I am gonna have to add some stuff here to make this work, I think. So what's gonna happen here? So these layers, right? The layer that I'm walking on is layer 0. Layer 1 is the top layer, so like the ceiling and shit. And then there's 2 negative layers, which is the fog. And what I did that so that I could add light to the foggy areas down here, the smoggy areas, so that I could darken the cave because it's a cave, and then I could have little lights here and there, little fires and all that stuff, and add atmosphere. But so since I did that theoretically, I should be able to set layers on lights, and then I could have these areas kind of lit up a bit. It's gonna be kind of hard to do that. I could just draw all that out, right? But it just wouldn't look right. So what you're gonna do here is you're gonna do some things to be able to get across an area. Is there an easy way to get to that area? No, I gotta go all the way around. Of course, there'll be fights here and all that kind of stuff. The second little level, that foggy area, maybe it'll be right away. Maybe it'll be the 3rd layer down. Probably do 3rd layer down. I think would probably be the best way to do that, right? And that's gonna be your poison swamp. I wanted to add a poison swamp. I played through Dark Souls. People that slam things kind of bug the hell out of me. I played Dark Souls, and I was like, you know what? I need a poison swamp. Okay, I don't know why that's bugged. That was weird. I need a poison swamp. So, okay, that's. Let's see, can I get through there? Yeah. So that's gonna be your the next little area. So yeah, at least I got a little bit of something done. Like I said, it's kind of a short video, and there's not too much to talk about. Don't know why that's so janky. There's gonna be a new NPC that you're gonna meet over here, who I might need to make a big NPC by the looks of it. I did not realize. I mean, I could just redraw that. It's not that big of a deal. But I didn't realize how big this map was compared to my character, because I didn't put a character sprite down for reference. Kind of huge, but that's all right. I can just add a bunch of stuff here and really fill it in. Then I'll go down the ladder, and you'll start going to the lower sections, and eventually you'll come out on another side. It'll be the Rabbit Village, and then it's gonna start progressing stuff. And then we have Alice, so that's gonna be fun. Figuring out how to get the companion system working, and then like the lore behind that. And Alice is going to be a really cool character. It's going to be your first companion, which is optional. I feel like having that extra difficulty of like not everything's going to be done out for you, like the way Souls games do it. And like also Fear and Hunger, I think it's a good way about going about it. It's so jank right now. I don't know why. Probably my controller or something. But yeah, I think that's kind of it right now. But I'm glad that I see that the layers are lower layers after all. I should also consider making this smaller, because like as it stands, it's a very big opening. Otherwise, it's fine. I wanted it to look like large, but I'm definitely. I think I just like didn't really take into account some things, right? Because this should be 2 squares. Is it 3? I think it's 2. I mean, it's 2 where it needs to be 2. It's like 1. It's like 2.5, kind of. It's a little weird, but yeah. I mean, sorry that there's not much more to talk about. Like I said, I've been sick. I got a lot of stuff done conceptually, though. In fact, could I even? If I show the, see, does it say it? Make objects lore that suggests rabbits are real. People and outfits stitched together by rabbit flesh. Forgot I was doing that. Yeah, I like that idea. It's a little weird. Make Alice a companion and also a doll who comes to life after a tragic death required removing her eyes as a side quest. I wonder if you should have to remove her eyes to give her immortality. Like I could bring the Taoist into this, and the Taoist will like she'll. There's definitely something I could do with that. I think though, having her actually be alive, and then you take her eyes out. It's a doll that comes to life. So you have to take the eyes out of the doll, and if you take the eyes out of the doll, then something will happen, and then I'll have to figure out like the story and the lore to that. But then she'll come to life after the fact, and then she'll have like the holes in her eyes and everything, and it'll be like, I think that's a cool way of doing that. You know, I like the idea of bringing like Alice as a character into this. Maybe I'll give it a slightly different name so it's not completely like Alice in Wonderland, but you know. Anyways, I suppose that's it for now. I got, and then Poison Cave was going to be the second thing, but I think I'm actually going to. Oh God. Have uh whatever. I guess that's fine. Have this cave 3, and then we'll do poison. Then you come out of the poison area to the village of rabbits. Sounds good to me. Yeah, that's how we'll do that. And then I haven't figured out exactly how I'm gonna. I mean, lore is a lot. Drawing is a lot too. Like even just like sketching everything out, like designing everything and realizing how big things are on accident. But that's totally fine. This place should look big and intimidating. It shouldn't be tiny. But I'm gonna have to fix this the cave entrance, but also add a lot of stuff in between, which will be good because that'll like allow you to like go in between areas and like explore a little bit more and feel like you're really doing something other than going to point A and point B. So that's it for now. I wish there was something like more exciting about that, but there's not. So there you go.